you must realise that if you put a graph up saying 4,000 deaths a day, that is going to be the message that the vast majority of people take home. Do you regret that at all?
Well, I think the aim of the presentation was to try and get as much of the information as we could out there. The 6-week projections were the ones that are important, I think, in terms of their reliability. Those were models for the reasonable worst-case scenario, and the reasonable worst-case scenario is something that people have been interested in, and they were modelled at the time to try and project that. And they came from very significant academic groups, and they are no more than a model of the reasonable worst-case scenario based upon assumptions. And the further models go out, the more unreliable the numbers are, and the more it becomes a qualitative exercise to look at the shape of things. And I think it's important that people understand and see what that is being looked at by the modelers, who believe that these things are important to have in the reasonable worst-case scenario.
You don't think that you just frighten people who do not have your scientific background and understanding of models and not...
Well, I hope not. I mean, I think I hope not, and that's certainly not the aim. And I will say that in a sense, we went through this a bit on the 20th or 21st of September when we said that we thought that things could be headed towards 50,000 cases per day if we had a doubling. Again, it was a scenario, not a prediction, and that deaths might reach 200. And the same argument that was somehow there to scare people was put to those slides. It wasn't there. It was there to sort of give a scenario. As it happens, the numbers turned out to be very close to that by the time we got there. So it's very difficult to project forward in a way that doesn't inevitably lead to a problem of, is that real? No, it's not real. It's a model, but it is what we need to understand, because this is a disease which is spreading, like all epidemics, in a way that will affect us in weeks to come, but isn't felt today. And I think there's that balance between trying to explain what may be coming, basing things, as Chris has said, as far as possible on what data you have today, which again is why things were presented as they were, to say, here are data from today and what's happening in hospitals today, but giving illustration of what may happen in the future, I think is an important part of this, because the tendency otherwise is to wait and to say, well, we'll find out in a few weeks' time, by which time you've baked in another 3 or 4 weeks of cases.